Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Iconic Leadership, the place where we have honest conversations around leadership, purpose, and of course, creating a life that leaves a legacy. And today I'm joined by someone who truly embodies what it means to take bold action. So, my guest today, her name is Kerry Thomas. She is a serial entrepreneur, insurance agency owner, real estate investor, a basketball coach, and of course, on top of all of that, the wife, the mom, a visionary leader, and of course, a world traveler, international speaker, global humanitarian, like all of the things, guys. She checks every box. She is a phenomenal woman to know. I've gotten the pleasure to really sit down and have so many conversations with her, and her heart is just pure and genuine. And I absolutely love to have her on the show. So she is the kind of woman who doesn't wait for perfect conditions. She sees possibility, she creates a plan, and she gets her ass to work. And I really, really respect a woman who does that, gets the vision downloaded, and then away she goes. So today's conversation isn't really going to be about insurance or probably real estate. We may dabble in some business, but it really is all about bigger vision. And I'm really, really excited for that because sometimes God expands your vision in the most unexpected places and times. And for Carrie, one of those places was Kenya. So, as you guys know, she traveled halfway around the world expecting to pour into others, teaching thousands of students about mindset and belief and journaling and vision. But somewhere between the classrooms and the communities and the home rebuilds, one unforgettable giraffe encounter, she realized that the vision that she had been carrying was much bigger than ever imagined. So, without further ado, please help me welcome Carrie to the show. Carrie, welcome.
Hi,
Hey, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Amazing. Of course, darling. So I can't wait for this conversation. I've been kind of counting down the days and the hours and maybe even the minutes and seconds because I cannot wait to just dive into all of the things around Kenya and what's coming up for you and just really talking about big dreams require bold moves. And so, yeah, if you're cool with it, I just love to dive right in.
So I kind of after reflecting on the Kenya thing, the big
Yeah.
dreams require bold moves is just with that, that's everything I've kind of done in my life.
Mhm.
To kind of like just explain that in a nutshell quick. Um, if you don't think about it or dream it or vision it, so I really learned about a giraffe, and we'll get more into that in my vision. But if you don't see it coming in your future, it probably won't happen. So you need to see it to believe it.
I love that. I love that. So before boarding the plane, let's just go right into the to that
Okay.
conversation. So before boarding the plane to Kenya, what vision did you think you were stepping into, and how has that vision expanded once you got there?
So foregoing, well, when I was at one of your gatherings, I'll call it, or seminars, um, Chris had brought it up and I was like, she's like, oh, if you want to know about Africa over here. And I was like, wait, what? Did she just say Africa? Like, so then I like went and looked at information on the table and I like had spoke with you and I was like, hey, send that, like, I really want to know information. And again, that's just something, again, that was always in my vision. It
Mm.
was like, I'm going to Africa. So it
Oh,
was like
wow.
a honeymoon list, bucket list.
Wow.
Well, then my husband and I got married a year and a half ago, and we did not go to Africa or do any honeymoon yet. But I was like, okay, like I don't know. To me, it was just a sign. It was just a
Mm.
sign. And then to go there and help people. I told my husband about it. I was so excited. He supports all my decisions, and I'm so excited about it. I'm like, oh my God, like I think we're going to Africa as I was driving home. Or actually I didn't say us. I said, I'm going to Africa. And he's like, no, you're not. So um yeah, he wasn't very fond of it at first. He didn't know that I'd be safe enough or anything like that. And then he could tell I was upset. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And I was like, we just got married like not even a year ago. I'm going. That's what I was thinking in my mind. I was like, I'm going. So I don't really know. But anyways, so yeah. So I with that, like again, it was a bucket list. And so to me, to my husband also, I was like, hey, this is our honeymoon. He's like, this is absolutely not our honeymoon, but just to go there and experience Africa and
Mm.
to like something that I always thought about and seeing it and then it actually happening and then like being able to help the people and the impact that you make. I really went there honestly too for myself. I was like, hey, I kind of want to like, I don't know, I kind of wanted like a reality check, I guess, or like,
Mhm.
hey, I need to go see what this is actually like there because I was raised a certain way, and never thought I could have the things that I now have. So I was like,
Yeah.
if I can go there and help them, and
Yeah.
they were raised with nothing too, and their parents don't have a lot of money, and I could help them believe that,
Hmm.
heck yeah, I need to go do this. And so
Yeah.
that's just putting my vision into place. And honestly, doing that made me realize, like, oh, wow, really anything I think that I can do or see, like, yeah, it's happening. So it's kind of scary, actually.
It is, right? Like what people think about, I feel, is very much what we attract, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, or the big ass visions that are kind of scary. It is crazy to like look back and be like, wow, I actually had that seed planted in my brain many, many years ago. I had no idea the how or the when, but it's our job just to kind of hold the vision, and like when you see an opportunity, it's your job to step into it. And I think that that does require a sense of boldness and courage because not a lot of people will do that, Carrie. I will be honest with you, right? Like you
Yeah.
mentioned at the Rise Up Omaha event, we have 200 women in the room, and I mentioned global humanitarian impact tour, speaking to thousands and blah, 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 blah. And what? One, you, solo, you were the only one that reached out. And that it takes a special leader. So I just want to reflect back to you. But B, that really does require a bold decision, right? Like I'm going to ask about it, and then I'm going to go take it home to my husband, and then kind of tell him about it, and then kind of be like, "Well, I'm going, whether you're going to go with me or not." And then like that, it's all courageous moves. So I'm curious, have you always been a bold decision maker like that, like even growing up, or was this a skill that you've kind of learned and developed over the years?
Well, so I mean, I kind of have like a little bit. I was the youngest of seven, and so they made like my brothers and sisters. They say they baby me, but I'm like, no, y'all beat me up and like made me super tough mentally,
Yeah.
I think. And so it's a reflection on them for
Mm,
like building me that way, and pushing me. And I just had to like survive, I guess, with six
mm,
other siblings.
yeah.
Um, but sorry, I'm losing my train of thought for a minute, but like to make I actually just happened this even happened recently where because there's times where I'm like, anyone can do this on things I do, and I don't give myself enough credit and things
Yeah.
like that. And the other day I was like, girl, like you got this. I was like trying to motivate a friend. I was like, girl, you got this. Like the test is the hardest part. Like this is all you got to do. Like whatever. And
Mhm.
like they're like, so much anxiety, so much this. I'm like, girl, change your mindset. Like, girl. And they're like, I don't know if I can like people don't just make that bold move. They don't. Like it's my husband has to constantly remind me because like even in our agency as we're trying to grow, and I'm like, hey, like I got this opportunity, and everyone's like, what commissions? So I have taken a lot of bold moves, like
Mhm.
insurance, I started out and always was, I guess still
Mhm.
am, commission only for 15 years.
Mhm.
So that is a bold move you have to make too.
Yeah,
So
100%.
being a business owner is a bold move.
100%. And
So
it's not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you guys right now, like being an entrepreneur, everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's so amazing. And it can be,
yeah.
yes. And you have to be willing to make a lot of bold moves to get your ass to where you actually want to go. So I normally would end with this, but I obviously have a direction of where I want to go with this entire show. But if a woman was trying, like most of the time, women are sitting on the fence, right? It doesn't matter
Yep.
what the move is, guys. It really doesn't. If it's business, mother, like being a mom, going to Kenya, it doesn't freaking matter. So, do you have like a step, like a process inside your brain? Have you ever thought
Ooh.
about it yet where you're like, okay, this could be a big move. Like, do you have like a step one, steps two, step three, and then just jump? Or like, do you just jump?
Truth or lie? No, okay.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, okay, so I used to be just like I would say reactive or just like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing it. I don't know
Okay.
if that's the right word. But I'm like, yep, doing it, like whatever. And then like kind of Africa, honestly, in a sense, was that too. It was, hey, I'm doing it. Once my mind is made up, like I'm doing something. Um, And even if it scares me, I'm like, cool, let's just get signed up quick, because growth comes from doing those hard things or the things you're uncomfortable with. Like even our next retreat that we're doing, like I was a little late to the game on like what we did for an activity, and I was like kayak sounds so simple, but I've never kayaked. So,
Love
and
it.
I'm not like scared of water, but I'm like I always have like this minimal fear. Like, oh, what if it tips over? Which is so petty, honestly. But I'm like, cool. I'm going on this retreat with women and doing something I've never done. That's
Mm,
awesome.
yeah.
Like there's not a better place I'd want to do it. Um, but yeah, so just like to get back to the question, I don't really I would say I used to just shoot off the hip all the time. I
Okay.
don't as I do have to, now that I'm married, that I started to get, I was like, oh, I have to ask and like make sure. But at the end of the day, my husband is very supportive, and he knows like he married me because he's like, girl knows what she wants and she's gonna get it, and I'll support you. And like,
Yeah.
and I'm the same with him. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I guess I just think about it, or like I do write things down that I want, like for
Mhm.
the real estate investing. Like I wrote that down for 3 years, and
Mhm.
I was frustrated a lot of those times, like getting there. But then all of a sudden, I bought 3 properties in 1 year. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I just got to be patient too. So some things you can get yes and answer, and some things you just got to. I keep journaling it or
Okay.
imagining it basically, and writing it out every day and manifesting. Um, all those beautiful, wonderful things that I want to do and bucket list items.
I love it. So, what I'm hearing is some decisions, it's rip, like grip it and rip it, right? We're
Yep.
doing it. If I feel scared, that's like the sign that I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it because I know that growth's happen on the other side. But now that you're married, we also have that like fine line. And I get that totally. It's like, no, I'm going to do this, but like I'm asking you not for permission, but like I generally want to know what your feedback is. What questions should I be asking or whatever, right? Like, it's not, you're probably not a woman asking for permission. And is that correct? It's more of just
Correct.
let's have an open conversation because I respect you as my husband and partner and not
Mm-hmm.
F you, I'm doing this, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, cool. So
Correct.
some decisions that you make are grip it, rip it, let it go. And then some are like, let me have a conversation just to kind of feel good about it, but
Yes.
either way, if it feels good, you're going to roll with it. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so one of those decisions was going and speaking to thousands of students around mindset and journaling and belief work and creating a vision for their future. Was there a particular moment when you were in Kenya or an interaction with a child that reminded you why like those types of conversations, around what you spoke about matter so much? Was there a specific talk that really screams out to you or a conversation with a youth, that was like, this is why, like I said, yes, this is why I needed to be bold to be here.
So the biggest thing for me at the schools was, I mean, obviously there were moments. Well, as you know, like at first I was trying. It's like I was trying to memorize, and then when I
Mhm.
started to just speak and go off the hip and just, how to question myself and my confidence for a minute and say, "Hey, girl, you got this." Um, that and just seeing like people as they were writing things down. That's when I knew like, oh, they're taking notes on what I'm saying. What I have to say is important.
Hmm.
But the biggest one for me is when I actually had a conversation after I had spoke a day with
Okay.
my son at home, and I was telling him all about Africa um and the impact and all the things and what they struggle with there.
Hmm.
And he I was said, did you want to create a video also that I can share with them?
Hmm.
And so he created that 51 second, I know exactly amount of second, 51-second video, and I got to play that there. And so they heard an 11-year-old, which some of them were that age, and to be sixth grader, speak their language. And I could see how what he said, I'm gonna cry, like
Yeah.
how what he said impacted them. And not only that, is that's too where I seen, oh my gosh, everything I've been saying to him for 11 years, he is listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, so he's listening to me, they're listening to me. People need to hear your voice. Keep talking, keep
Mm.
preaching. And all you need to do is even say, like, if you save one or, help one person, that's going to be massive. So that's kind of that was the biggest impact for me, and seeing their faces kind of off of what I've always even trained him.
Yeah, I loved that. That was a special moment. I remember when you played it for me, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, right? Like, how can we get the microphone? Because, guys, if you can just picture, right, like a lot of people think, oh, keynote in front of thousands of people, and you'll probably have a stage and the microphone and like all of the flashy lights, and it's like super, super professional. And this is Kenya, right? So it's like, we don't know if the
We don't have all that.
yeah, you're like, you're creating props out of nothing. And, so I was like, how can we got to make sure that message, that 51-second voice message from your son, is shared, right? And I remember when you
Correct.
shared it, and I like to watch you and I like to watch them because I know as a mom how special that would have been because I had a very similar conversation with my daughter the very first year that I went, which is then why she went the second year. She's like, oh my God, I have to go. But she did not do that. But the fact that he's 11 years old and he had such wisdom is a direct reflection of the leadership that you and Vaughn, your husband, have brought into his relationship. So again, kudos, mama, because we don't think our kids are watching, and they are, and they're
Yeah.
listening. And it was he had a beautiful message, and it went right along with the message that you were sharing. So really quick, what was your favorite message? What was your overall message that you were like, this is it. This was a good one.
So ended a lot of I don't know if I'm thinking it happened like a third in, but I started saying and letting everyone know, besides the journaling, it was like change your mind, change your life.
Yeah.
And so I think that resonated really a lot with them. And even some of the speakers told me that, like with them personally, like they're like, I really liked that. And so everything really is mindset. So
It is. It is. It is. It's huge. And that self-mastery is massive, right? Because it's like they can
yeah.
have all the strategies, but if they are talking shit and they don't believe in themselves, they'll never achieve the dreams that they all, want to create. So I remember a very special moment around a fire pit that involved some wooden animals and specifically a giraffe. So I want to actually talk about the giraffe moment. What happened? Why did it impact you so deeply? And how did it become a symbol of thinking bigger than you've allowed yourself to think before?
So to be honest, Carissa, like since I've met you, it's like a lot of times I'm like, who am I? Like, who am I? Like, really? Like, what is my ultimate ending goal? Like, when am I going to be satisfied, I guess, in a sense? Or like, just like, again, who am I? But I'm standing there. So we get to a school and there's this large giraffe. And I I can't even remember now that I'm thinking like what animal I thought I was, but I drew the giraffe. But at the school there was a big giraffe, and I was
Yeah.
talking to the first lady, and
Hmm.
I said, why what does the giraffe symbolize? And she's like, oh, she's like, I love giraffes because I'm a visionary, and I like to see things ahead. And I was like, what just happened? I was like, huh? Okay. And actually, I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say like, what? That's me. And nothing. I just let her talk and talk about her vision and like what she was like, envisioning in life and all the impact she's already made, which is amazing. And so then when we're at the fire pit and I draw the draft, I'm like, what? Like again, everything in life is just, I think everything's a symbol, everything
Hmm.
that happens to you. And so I draw this giraffe, and now it's like literally sitting next to the giraffe is like next to my bed. All I think about is the giraffe. And like I am, and like honestly, this is weird. I'm like, I'm a visionary. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this whole time I was like, who I be? I'm a visionary. Okay, cool. Like that's crazy. So
Wow.
now people ask like, hey, like I'm Kerry Thomas, what do you do? I'm a visionary. I'm like,
Oh,
what? But like, you know what I mean? Because everyone always says what they do. And I'm
yeah.
like, no, I'm a visionary. And
Hmm.
then like, tell me more. I'm like, let me tell you.
Ah, let me tell so crazy. I didn't even think that I've never even heard of that story. That's why I love these like post, experience interviews. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have an amazing conversation around the fire pit and like this aha epiphany that you had, like pulling this giraffe out of a bag, right? It was kind of like a crapshoot of like, what animal are we? It was an intuition animal reading that our local ambassador and diplomat, puts on this beautiful ceremony at the end. But the fact that you're absolutely right, we saw the giraffe, the massive, like 8 foot thing giraffe, whatever, to how it was even taller than 8 foot. Like it was probably like
That is
at
huge.
the statue, yeah, in the middle of the school. And I had no idea that you had that conversation with her and that was, the thing that she had mentioned and why it was so important to her. And then we saw giraffes obviously on safari. And then
Hmm.
pulled the giraffe. And I just remember thinking, when you shared those reflections, like that is Carrie. Like that's crazy. And now I'm putting it all together. And I love that you're leading conversations in like networking groups now where it's not like, oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur and this is what I do, and I do insurance and I do this and I do that. It's like, oh, I'm a visionary. And that's starting conversations. So if everything happens, total off the cuff here, if you believe everything happens for the right reason in the perfect divine time, what do you think the moment in Kenya is really setting you up for? Have you had any bigger visions
Ooh.
based on that moment?
Not like specifically, but just um just gr just like literally I can achieve like anything. Like anything, I guess. And I always kind of thought it, but like, you question maybe a question mark, right?
Mhm.
But now I'm like, oh no. So like I can really do anything. And so I'm right now I'm doing some health stuff for me personally on myself. But girl, another friend of ours that went, who's amazing health person, that was last Tuesday. I'm already feeling a mate like, oh my gosh, you just have to eat fruit. Like what? Who would have thought? It's awful. But like, girl, like I'm excited. So like just that I am gonna hit my goals and I am gonna hit my dreams and
Mm.
it's gonna come sooner than I think.
Of course, of course. So it sounded like that experience solidified, that you're on the right path and that yes, you can do anything that you
Hmm.
put your mind to. And it did, that experience stretches you. I always tell people, when I'm selling it, I don't know why people even end up saying yes, right? Like we all have our own reasons because it could be you're going to speak to 20,000 people. It could be you're going to rebuild a home. It could be, right? Like let's go and play basketball with kids, like whatever. I don't know why people really ultimately say yes to that experience because I explain it as a leadership growth experience. And what you just shared with me, though, is one of those moments for me that it's like, yes, she's growing and she's stretching, and you did so many firsts on that trip, which now leads to even more, visionary thinking and more bold action. So I can't wait to see, what's coming up with Carrie at the end, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But you're a successful entrepreneur, right? You're an investor, you're a coach, you're a leader. Yet Kenya still stretched you, very similar to a giraffe's neck, right? That's nice and long and stretched. What did it reveal about the next chapter of your own leadership and purpose? Did it reveal anything else, or did you kind of cover that?
Yeah. So there was something that was on my mind. So my husband started an elite speed and agility business, and there's something on my mind. And some parents have said some things to me in the last year, like, "Hey, like, Carrie, you do really well with the kids, and like telling them to visualize that, like, when you go to bed tonight, I want you to imagine the game tomorrow, and I want you to imagine getting steals and doing like making those shots and making the game winner and." And I always just did that naturally because
Mm,
that's what I do with for myself.
yeah.
And so my husband starting that business made me, I was like, I love these kids. Like I genuinely love them. Like we're literally talking about buying a like big like it's happening because I already told my son and he's like asking me about it. But we're just gonna buy like a big bus, like a white bus, and then put my husband's business on the side. But we'll like take the boy. I want to take the boys this year. So I have a couple months, basically October. I gotta get this bus, and we're gonna take them to. I want to all in the car because like team culture and all that is so important. And people don't do that anymore. And that's what we did as kids. And I
Yeah.
remember those rides are so fun. And so yeah, so that anyways, that got me to like the mental of the game of athletics
Yes. Yeah.
and helping these kids with their mindset. And so um my alongside my husband's business and he's doing the physical training, I'm going to do the mental training. I have
Oh,
not started it yet, but I
yeah.
will be launching it and I'm super excited. And I think for me, like I had somebody that was there for me in my life that changed my life. And I think that I'm not a therapist, but I'm there to let them believe in themselves, because over 90% of that game is actually going to be mental, and everything you do in life, 90% and higher, is what you think. So if I
Yes.
can help change those kids' lives and then see them grow as men in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, that's just so rewarding to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that
Generational
relates in
changer.
Kenya.
Okay, well, let's talk about that's like you're a history maker. Like just think about that for a moment and let it sit in as like I'm not here just to train an athlete and help them with their mindset and really mastering the inner game of a game, right? Like if
Mm-hmm.
I help them build the internal game of strength and resilience and confidence and discipline, like all of that's internal. How will that change their future and their kids' lives and their kids' lives? So just sit with that and chew on that when you go to bed tonight. It's like, I'm a history freaking maker. Like, I'm
Love.
changing history here. That's amazing because you are, right? And I know you changed the future for those thousands and thousands of kids that you spoke to. So one of
Mm-hmm.
the things, that I admire about you, Kerry, is that Kenya wasn't the finish line, right? It became the launch pad, is what it sounds like, for your next bold decision that you recently have now realized. And you probably now have a bit more confidence behind you saying, like, yeah, I actually spoke to thousands around the internal game, and now I can do the same thing for kids, locally in your area. But you also have said something like a big fat yes to another exciting project that is launching. You said
Yes.
yes to Iconic Women Rising. So tell me a little bit about
Yes.
why you said yes to that and what you're excited about and what is it?
Okay. So when we were in Africa the whole time, I kept saying to you, I was like, we're coming back. We're coming back.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
coming back. So like that alone, like is just how impactful it was. And I just, again, helping the children there. But yes, I said yes to Iconic Impact because I want to continue to help the people around the world and
Mhm.
give them the belief that they can achieve all things, basically, that they set their mind to. And I'm just super excited to be on the board of the Iconic Impact so we can continue just to help people internationally. I think even in the US, correct?
Mhm.
And just to like go and to give and help and give again people hope and belief
Yeah.
is just so rewarding for me. And people have always said like, and I never understood it until Africa, but
Mhm.
like if you continue to give, like you will receive without even asking. And it's not that it is about that, but like I went to Africa and I got so much more back. So if I can just keep giving and helping and letting everyone hear my voice about the mental, and being there, maybe being that one person that's there for them,
Yeah.
then like we can, like I said, do anything, right? So
Change the world, right?
I am
History.
excited.
So, okay, guys, she freaking spilled the beans. I wasn't expecting her to go
Oh,
into Iconic Impact, which is our nonprofit that we're launching. But I love it, right? Yes, I asked her. There was a select few of women, right? And not everyone went to Kenya that I asked, right? But there was a select few of women. So, really quickly, big scope, Iconic Impact is our third pillar of the Alpha Queen Empire, right? So first we do coaching and mastermind. That has been something that I've been doing since 2019. The second pillar is what we call iconic influence media. So that is once we've helped the woman truly, master herself and her business. The natural journey for a woman like Carrie and I is like, now that I've helped myself, I want to help millions, right? So that's the natural thing for a lot of iconic leaders is like, I want to do more, I can do more, I can be more, I can give more, I can impact more lives, right? We stop worrying about the return on investment and we start focusing on the return of impact, right? The other ROI that so many people don't talk about in entrepreneurship space. So the second pillar is iconic influence media. And she has also said yes to being in our volume 2 collaborative book. It's called Iconic Women Rising. I think I have an idea of the stories that you're going to share, or at least the overall through message around mindset and how we can achieve anything that we put our mind to. I'm not going to like put those words in there, but like I have a feeling that you may end up going in that direction with your chapter. Why did you say yes to that book? Yeah, I'm just curious why you, out of all the people, said yes to a collaborative book with, 7 other incredible women.
Well, it's just one of those things again, something I was scared of. It's
Mm.
something I wrote in my journal probably, I want to say 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and I stopped writing it, and I'm not sure why, but I did stop writing. I was like, I'm gonna write a book one day. I'm gonna do this. Like, um, and so again, the opportunity came.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. Like, again, that was just one of those things. It was like,
Yeah,
hey, husband, I'm going to do this. This is to help me grow because
yeah,
I've never done it. So I'm going to grow from it. And again, share like in Africa too, like you share that story and you see how impactful it is, or with, and then you're like, okay, yeah, this needs to be shared everywhere.
yeah,
Right. Like,
yeah.
um, so I mean, that's ultimately it was a hip decision. Like, I'm doing this to grow. So when
Right.
I look at decisions, I do look at that. I'm like, am I going to grow from this? Yep. Okay, cool. It's going to be hard. Yep. Do I have no idea what I'm doing? Yep. Am I
Love
going to
it.
learn? Yep. Am
Yeah.
I
See?
am I going to learn before? Yes.
Yes, yes. And even if it was a complete flop, which it would not ever be, nothing I can imagine that you put your hands on is like ever a super uber failure. And I also think that you're probably a woman who doesn't look as failure as like failure, like the average person, because you're anything but average. You are extraordinary. But we look at even if it was a failed project, we're still going to learn and grow from it. So therefore, we're still winning, right? But
Right.
Iconic Women Rising, Volume 2, it's stories of courage, leadership, and legacy. And Carrie just touched on the 2 reasons why she wants to do it is one, it's going to help her grow and she's going to, learn something about herself. But also, even if one person read her chapter and thought, you know what, if Carrie can do this, then so can I. And she gave me hope and she gave me belief in myself again. It would probably all be worth it just for one person to turn around and say, Carrie, thank you. Thank you for doing
Mhm.
this and putting yourself out there because that's a courageous, bold move. Cool. Okay, so be looking out. She's going to be a best-selling author within the next 12 months. She'll be all over, featured in major media all over the country. Think USA Today, Women's Weekly. Not only will she probably trump her, like her area there locally where she's at in Nebraska, but guys, we go national with this. We take these books globally and the stages and all of the things. So then naturally, right, when one woman starts to master herself, her business, she then wants to impact more lives, that ROI that I was talking about. Then we truly start to see women after they've amplified their voice, we start to see them want to put their own leadership skills into something bigger than them, right? It's no longer about building the business. It's more about supporting a bigger cause. And I feel that everyone wants to be a part of a movement that they can really get behind. So that was the thing she spilled the beans on that I wasn't quite ready for yet. How
Sorry.
sorry, not sorry.
There's just so many things that we're growing and doing, and
I
I'm just like,
know, I know. So, yes, I asked her to be one of our selective, leadership women on our board. It's the She Rises movement. So I looked at all the people in my sphere, right? And I'm honest when I'm like, no, no, no. This person says she, likes to talk a big game, but she doesn't, like all of the things. And when Carrie's name came to mind, it wasn't because she went to Kenya with me. It wasn't, because she's doing a book with the AQC. It was truly because of her values and the type of woman that she is and the impact that she wants to create. And yes, we don't just go to places like Kenya and, build homes and water tanks and sponsor kids and put in basketball courts and all of those things. It's really if it's going to be impacting our local communities as well. And of course, we're starting right there in Nebraska. So between teens, teen leadership camps, women's camps, things like that. So Carrie, are you excited about more of the helping women in our local community in Nebraska, or are you really excited about getting in there and working with the young teen girls in the workshops?
the young teen girls in the workshops.
Yeah.
I mean, I love everyone, but
Yeah. I
I just
mean,
really connected with, I just, kids, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, you can they're like, as an adult, sometimes your mind's already made up, or it might be a little harder to break
Mhm.
some of those things. Whereas a child, again, like it happened to me, I had one person that saved me essentially,
Mhm.
and believed in me and showed me a life that I didn't know was there. And so
Mhm.
kids up. Hey.
It's the heart. It's the heart, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I will disagree with you. I think I agree to disagree because yes, someone can come into your life for a reason and a season, and there's a purpose for that person. But ultimately, I think you have to save yourself, and you were willing,
Yeah.
right? You were willing to, whether she gave you advice or whatever that situation was, you were willing to see it for what it was and do something about it, right? I mean, how many women
Right.
you know, Carrie, that you could pour into and you preach the same message to, and they don't do jack shit about it because they're just too stuck in their ways and they're not open to being mentored or coached or whatever. And here you were, I don't even care what age you were. You had so much wisdom within you that you took that person and her advice and her wisdom and all of the support that she gave you and you freaking ran with it. So, yes, give her the credit, but I'm going to turn the credit back to you, girl, because not a lot of people will take self-responsibility and you did.
Thank you.
Receive it.
I receive. I
I
receive.
love you, girl. I love you. All right. So if you could teach any one child, like any person, but you specifically, one mindset principle before they became an adult, what would it be and why?
Oh gosh, wow, that's a deep question.
I know. One mindset shift or one mindset principle.
I kind of, I guess, like I said earlier, just change your mind, change your life. If you write down what you want, or writing it down really makes a huge effect. So if you can every day write down, even if it's just one thing that you want, something that you're grateful for,
Mm,
and one nice thing about yourself. Like even if you
mm,
just did one, I try to do at least 5 a day, but I'm an overdoer, right? Overachiever. But even if you just wrote like one nice thing, maybe sometimes,
mhm,
you're like, hey, you have a bad, like start to, or be self-aware too. Be
mhm.
self-aware what you say to yourself. That's actually probably being self-aware of what you're saying to yourself, because what you're saying to yourself is what you're doing or feeling.
Oof. Okay, so I know that was probably a piece of advice for the youth, but I want to say if you guys are watching and listening, that's a writer freaking downer. Because if you're not aware of the shit that you're spinning in your head, your own narrative, right? You cannot change what you're not aware of. So I love that that's what you came out with is like step one, you got to be aware of what you're saying. Step two, start writing something different down. And then if I had to just kind of reflect back to you from this entire conversation, step three would be to take action, even if you're not ready, right? It's like
Yeah.
you got the vision, you're aware, you got the vision. Correction. Step three is you have to be willing to say yes, and you also
Action.
have to be willing to see the opportunities. I mean, you've seen opportunities come and go where so many people could just be like, it's not the right time. It's not the right time to go to Kenya. It's not the right time to write a book. It's not the right time to start a business.
No. So that's actually the third step is yes. Just say yes. Don't think, say yes.
Don't think, say yes. I love it. We're creating this whole methodology right here on a podcast show. I don't know if she ever had it locked in, but like this is her framework. She's gonna go teach the kids tomorrow. It's
Yes.
like it's a four-step framework, guys, and it's the fundamentals of being bold and courageous and actually achieving your goals and dreams. I love it. It's a keynote all wrapped into one. I love it.
Yes. I know. I was like, ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
you're
Got an
welcome. I'm
idea.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. We won't get into our whale sounds because, amazing things happen when you are on a bus, on a tour, speaking tour in your country. So we'll leave that one for another episode because I know you guys are going to see a lot of Carrie. But Carrie, what's next for you? What are you excited about besides Elite Speed? Or where can people connect with you if they want to learn more about you?
So on Instagram, it's just Ensure You Agency, or on Facebook. So, Ensure You, just like it sounds, just the
Okay,
letter U at the end, agency. We're on Facebook and Instagram.
perfect.
Or you can look at us at our website, www elitespeed.iuagency.com.
Amazing. And elite speed, obviously, if
Yes.
I am an adult and I have a child who wants to become, the best versions of themselves, both on and off the field, what's elite speeds like handles? Where can they find more information about that?
Elite Speed Nebraska is on Instagram and
Okay.
on Facebook. And then to be honest, I'm drawing a blank right now what our website is. But if you watch my husband's episode,
There you go. There you go. It's all good. I mean, people go to websites anymore. I'm not quite sure. No, I'm just kidding.
just Google Elite Speed Nebraska
Yeah.
and it will come up. Sorry, I
I love
forget the
it. I
website.
love it. Elite Speed Nebraska. Because you guys, we have
That's what
listeners
it is.
from all over. So if
Yeah.
you're in the Nebraska area and you want to say, yeah, shit, if you are in the Kansas City, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you want to, have your kids be learning from people like Kerry and Tom who actually care, who actually, are all around both the inner game and the outer game, go out and Google Elite Speed Nebraska. One final thought, Kerry,
Yeah.
anything that you want to kind of leave with the audience?
Um, no.
You're a serial entrepreneur. What's one piece of advice you would give an entrepreneur or a woman who wants to start a business?
Okay. I'm sorry, I was like, no. Um, just go out there and do the hard things and do the things you're scared of. Like I said, don't think too much about it. And this might be awful to say, but I'm bold, so I'm gonna say it. But if you're always trying to do something and you're trying to grow and maybe your partner's not supporting you, maybe it's not the right fit for you.
Oh, snap.
Mic
And
drop.
into a
I
relationship podcast.
I'm just saying it happens everywhere. I see it
It
everywhere.
does. It does. It does.
You got to take care of you to take care of your family. So
You got to
take care
pour
of
from
you.
the overflow, baby girl. That's right. All right, you guys. So if any part of our episode today really resonated with you, drop us some comments, subscribe and like to the Alpha Queen Collective YouTube channel. We are constantly interviewing leaders like Kerry Thomas and Vaughn and so many other amazing women. So really quickly, guys, I just want to talk about the She Rises movement because it's not just humanitarian work. It's about helping women step into the fullest expression of who they were created to be through leadership, through service, through personal transformation, and of course, through impact. So, iconic impact exists because leadership should never stop with personal success. Our mission is to truly empower, uplift, and transform women and girls all around the world while helping the woman, who serves discover that they too were made for something bigger. So when one woman rises, families rise. When families rise, community rises. When communities rise, nations rise. And that is the ripple effect that we are building, Carrie and I together in the Iconic Impact. If you are looking to be a part of, an initiative like this, if you're looking to get involved in any way, shape, or form, please feel free to either comment below or reach out, support@alphaqueencollective.com, and I'd be happy to get you some more information. Or you can just go to www.alphaqueencollective.com, click on Iconic Impact, and go read what we are all about. So with that, guys, have a kick-ass week. I will see you again on another episode of Iconic Leadership. Bye for now.